to North Dakota today. Well, our ability to earn money and manage it impacts nearly every area of our lives. This October, we are focusing on how you can become smarter with your money by challenging all North Dakota residents to take the Smart with My Money Personality Challenge. You can learn how your personality affects your approach to money and how you can use those characteristics to improve your financial wellness. Joining us today is Rachel Grothman from the Bank of North Dakota to share more about this. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, we appreciate your time this morning. Definitely learning a lot this month, right?
Yes, it's been great.
Yes. Okay, so what are some small practical steps that someone can take today if they feel overwhelmed by their finances?
Yeah, so I always kind of preach education is first and foremost. Maybe kind of filling in some of the blanks on maybe things that you don't know surrounding finances.
Yeah.
And then using that education to really kind of start to take some small practical steps. One that I always recommend is if you're not already, start with just a simple budget and kind of figuring out, where your finances are currently at and how you can use them moving forward.
Okay, definitely good to know. So how can people shift from a mindset of financial perfectionism into setting small but achievable financial goals?
Yeah, so I think a lot of the times when people are thinking about their finances, they think really big picture.
Yep.
So, how can I afford that house or that vacation, or how can I get to retirement, whatever the case might be for them. I think sometimes it's important to just kind of scale back a little bit.
Yep.
And focus on just, the day, the week, the month, and what are some small financial goals that you can achieve just in the short term that will then build over time and set you up for that long-term financial success.
Okay, I gotcha. So when is it time to reach out for help, and who should someone talk to? Maybe a financial advisor, a mental health counselor, or both if they're struggling?
Yeah, so it never is too early or never hurts to be reaching out to a financial professional.
Yep.
If you've kind of done the education, done the work yourself, and you're maybe still not quite sure what path to take, where to be turning, that's a great time to reach out to a professional. And you mentioned a couple different options there. Both, all of the above are always great, just kind of depending on what it is that you're struggling with, maybe where you think you might need some help.
Yeah, so can you explain what money avoidance is and why it becomes such a common coping mechanism?
Yeah, so money avoidance is really just avoiding all things having to do with finances. Maybe when you're feeling stressed or overwhelmed or just like don't know what to do when it comes to your money. Oftentimes people just kind of avoid dealing with it altogether.
Okay, I see. So how can someone begin to recognize and then break out of that recurring cycle of financial avoidance or procrastination?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is just being kind of self-aware and being able to recognize maybe some of those habits that you're developing.
Yeah.
So if you're seeing all the time that you're late on paying your bills, for example, you may recognize that, hey, that's a habit that I'm building up.
Yep.
And then you can kind of look at, once you've recognized it, you can look at, okay, how do I work within that then? So if it is that you're always late avoiding paying your bills, maybe you put those on auto pay.
Yeah.
And it becomes just a simple, practical technique that you can use to kind of help yourself get ahead there.
Okay, perfect. So what would you say to someone who feels stuck in the money merry-go-round and maybe doesn't believe that they can ever gain control over those finances?
Yeah, so I think first and foremost, I would say you're not alone. There's a lot of people who feel that same way, so don't feel like you're the only one facing this. But then I would say start small. Start looking at some of those simple little things that you can do to kind of help build up those good money skills, build up good habits that will over time kind of snowball into a good financial situation for yourself.
Okay, definitely some great tips. So where can we go for more information about everything we talked about this morning?
Yeah, so the Smart With My Money website, that's smartwithmymoney.nd.gov. That's a great tool that I always recommend just for good education about all things finances.
Well, wonderful. Thank you so much, Rachel.
Absolutely, thank you.
Yes, we appreciate your time. And everyone at home, stick around for more North Dakota Today coming up after the short break.